Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. And I don't recall having played Rogue recently, so let's do that. You are much less terrible for a Rogue than you are for most people. Mode Lurker, I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, yes, it's a minion that just gets rid of an enemy thing, but seems like just expensive and temporary, and I don't like that. That's what I need. Sneezing fit on video. Couldn't happen just before it started. Sunwalker, you know what? I'm gonna take the Silithid Swarmer, because how often am I gonna use the Silithid Swarmer? Seriously. Betrayal is pretty good. Backstab versus Eviscerate. That's kind of painful, but I mean, Eviscerate's the stronger card overall, and given they're both pretty cheap, seems like a safe bet. Pit Snake, but I could take the profit, or it's very early on. I could try and get some dragons, and this is really strong if you've got a dragon in your hand. Profit, I don't have like a super important purpose for the profit. It's not like I'm a shaman deck where I might get evolution stuff, and even then, there's only one common card that does evolution. Let's take the Historian. Usually I'll ignore all the dragon stuff, but we'll maybe give it a shot. Shadow Step, I could get an extra dragon if I had that, but we can't really count on me getting any dragons. Let's take the Tiger, because the fight's okay. The super spell damage Kobold is pretty cool. Again, you want to think of him more as a one-shot boost of damage to your damage spells that cost 4 mana, and happens to drop a 2/2 in the process. It's just strong. I've got 1 damage spell already, because stupid Betrayal doesn't count spell damage, but do I want to take the Kobold for that purpose, though? I think Vanish is probably just a more powerful card to have around, so I should do that. Ethereal Peddler is pretty good. I'm unlikely in the arena to have a lot of things that give me cards from other classes. We still have 5/6 for 5, which is solid. But I think we're going to take the Bookworm, because I'm going to try and get some dragon stuff this time, even though he's a pretty crappy one if you don't have the other dragons. All special rogue cards. Man. I like the Ambusher, but you stack him up next to the Tomb Pillager. It's like 1 more hit point for a drawback, whereas he actually has an advantage. So it's pretty hard to take the Nubarak guy. Shadow Step, Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi is not terrible. He's not great cost there, but let's take Ogre Magi. Ooh, so Raptor. I don't have any good death rattles yet. I think I just gotta take the SI7 agent because he's so goddamn effective. Let's take another Tomb Pillager. Why not? Just a bunch of mid-game fat. Speaking of, this is like efficient as hell. Very hard to turn down the Deadly Fork. I mean, it's slightly less powerful because you're a rogue, right? That's a 3/2 weapon instead of the 1 attack weapon that you would easily get. But it costs you no mana to upgrade to this, and it's still, there's a big difference between 3 damage and 1 for your swings. I could get another one of these, or I could take a Vendor or a Yeti just so it has a mech in case I get mech stuff, but it does help to have some diversity of things. Like, how many coins do I really need? On the other hand, coins. He gives stuff to my opponent. Like, I really don't want to take him, kind of, but I think for diversity, it's probably a good idea. I'd rather usually have 1 of him and 1 of him in my hand than just 2 copies of him, right? That can happen. Get a regular Yeti, or a Crap Hunter, or the Crap Anomaly. Like, I have several spells. I could get more, but he doesn't become that strong 99% of the time. Pit Fighter is pretty good. The expensive things I have are not all that big. I'm really pretty mid-range. This is slightly bigger, sort of mid-range, but I think I gotta take the backstab, because gives my deck more variety. Let's definitely take, like, I like this guy and all, and I actually kind of need more strong 2-cost guys, but let's take the Violet Illusionist, because damn would that be nice to stab things and not be hurt. Swashbuckler would be good for early game, obviously. It's card advantage, and this guy, he's really solid for a incredibly basic card. You can get more stats on the, like, the 5/4 taunt for 4, like Heckler, but this is a good way to have your sets be. But I think I have to take the Kvaldir Raider to be a big thing to try and finish people later. Speaking of big things, excuse me. And I could take him. I have a Mac, but I'm worried my deck's gonna get too expensive if I go with that. My deck's not super cheap, so I don't know if I'm going to get enough out of the sprint, but I still have half of it left to go. Let's take the sprint. Whatever. Could win me a game. Let's take an Eviscerate, definitely, even though I could probably use the taunt. None of you are super spectacular. You, I think, are garbage. You can do useful things. I didn't take the guy that cares about mechs today. No. So, Cobra is a little bit more directed. Let's take the Swashbuckler this time. Some card advantage. You're a pretty good 1-drop to make up for the fact that I don't have very good 2-drops. But Fan of Knives. Again, I didn't take the. I didn't have the Ogre Magi, but I haven't really been taking the spell damage that has come up. It doesn't look like I'm gonna get enough dragon guys, but having a Fan of Knives I think is pretty useful. This is really powerful. He's also pretty damn strong. This tends to be harder to use, although I have a couple of extra coins I might have. Can I get this to work? It's just, it's super strong, but it requires setup. He is pretty strong and requires relatively little setup. If you have one other guy, he's a 5/5. I'm just going to take him for simplicity, even though the other card is stronger. I guess we're going to try and chain Bookworm here. And they're really... I don't think this is a great arena pick, seriously. Like, 3/6 for 6 is terrible stats. And his ability is fairly strong, but really I'm taking them because I really want to get Netherspite Historian going. It's not probably the greatest plan. Let's take the Clockwork Knight, whatever. One of those guys is big enough. Menagerie Magician. Okay, so I have some dragons. I don't have any Murlocs, but I do have the Cobra. The Swarmer is a beast. Yeah. And the Tiger. Yeah, you know, the Menagerie Magician has a decent chance to have. It only gives one thing. You just have to have one thing out for it to be good. On the other hand, it's a little bit expensive and slow. Would I be better off taking a 4-drop delaying action? Now, this is more exciting. I'm going to have a lot of Eviscerates. Take the Arcana Smith. He's really so much stats and goodness. Like, this is a really good card, but I feel like I should just take more Eviscerates if possible. Because more Eviscerates. Okay, so I only have 2 dragons to fuel these guys, but I really need more cheaper cards, so I think I'm going to go with that. Mind Control Tech, maybe save the day. Yeah, my bigger cards aren't actually great Alarm Robot targets, so Mind Control Tech it is. Get another Mind Control Tech. Well, Avian Watcher isn't even not even a beast, because it's like made of stone. Blade Fury, though, I have stuff that can give me weapons that are better than 1 attack. I think I gotta take the Blade Fury. This deck is gonna be iffy. It has a lot of solid mid-game minions, and it's got a lot of Eviscerates. A lot of Eviscerates is good. A lot of strong mid-game minions is okay. It has a couple of late-gamey things. I'm just concerned. The dragon thing really did not pan out. It resulted in me taking 2 bad dragons and having 2 very powerful 2-cost minions, which are normally going to work out terribly for me. Like, I'm normally just going to end up playing him as a 1/3 because I have no dragons, because the odds are pretty poor. So, yeah, going for the dragon screwed me, which is why I normally never try, but you never know. And holy shit. I guess I'm keeping him in my hand, because holy shit. Okay. Dragon thing has decided to work this game. What? I think I can even squelch you yet when you said hello. It seems fairly unbalanced. Could play him. I could coin her out. I don't think I'm that desperate to get her out, though. Hey, cool. I have no secrets, so that's not really so cool, but yeah, 2, 3 for 2.
Excuse me, you are on
It's
fire.
free. So I can actually hit that guy and then backstab him just to get him out of the way. Not sure how much value there is to that. I've got to backstab him first, obviously. Duh. Let's see what I get from dragoning. See, this is why I put such a high value on them. Because this is some good shit. I'm not going to bet on racing my opponent down that much. But there's some possibility for a late game Malagos, Eviscerate for 9, Eviscerate for 9. Shalomar is very strong too, but I'm going to take Malagos. And it's such a waste of a backstab getting rid of this idiot. But I'm not going to do super well if I don't. I think I'm just going to do it for the board control. See if this game goes on long enough, and if I can save an Eviscerate or 2 in my hand to Malagos it. Oh my god. Kick ass. Although I wish I had a backstab to get rid of this. He can do some damage. I'm not going to do that right now. It's not actually a priority. As much as I'd like to get the dragon sooner and know what I've got. But let's Yeti and do this. That guy's not going to do a horrendous amount of damage unless buffed. And as long as he's not buffed, there's a good chance I can just Yeti him down. Or the Yeti will eat an entire fireball, which is not the end of the world, although it does give that guy the opportunity to do much better than he has any right to do, mostly. I could play these 2. That's probably a good deal for now.
Once upon a time.
Oh, the crazy power, but can I wait for these late game things? I think I need something I can cast sooner. As much as I hate to not take these, I already have one huge fat long-term thing that I took, so I'm not going to go that way.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
What's 1 damage to my opponent going to do to me? Whereas I do want to make sure I get that guy dead. Yeah. Okay. So this would come out with a fair amount of size right now. But I could also play the Swarmer and attack. Now the Swarmer wouldn't be able to attack this turn, but I would then have the dagger out for future value. Also, he'd be out there for this in a later turn. This guy would come out pretty big, though. And big is good. There's no real urgency to doing that. Having him out and big is probably actually better. There is some urgency to doing this. Let me hit you for 1. I'll control when I use her 1/3-ness. Preferably to take out the 2/1 that pops out of this idiot.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
That book is very good. Your image. Interesting. I am glad I killed the Whirlwind guy when I could, Wind Fury, because I was not going to get another chance anytime soon. Kind of annoying. So if I make a dagger, then she can kill one of them, and there'll be less stuff out there.
So many options.
So I think what I want to do is kill them, and no, I can't. If I make a dagger, I can't play him. But yeah, either way, I do have to cut down the amount of stuff. So let's maybe kill him. And Do I leave it? I can't. I don't have a choice to kill that. I have to get rid of the taunts, obviously. Because that's how taunt works, apparently. And Mech Yeti. It's not going terribly. And I have some, like, dragons in cred. I'm going to start doing crazy, weird things soon. Crazy magician and spooky stuff. Keep wanting to call this a witch, because, like,
What to
seriously.
do? What to do?
Looks like a wicked witch to me, but they went with menagerie magician for the alliteration.
You're in trouble now!
Could have called her a mage witch, but that actually sounds more like what happens when two mages get squashed by an ogre. Or a Mech Yeti. Alright. That thing is fairly big and unpleasant. But I can make this a 6/6 with this. That would be okay. I could also make this a 5/6 with him, but that's not going to work out quite as well, so yeah.
So many options.
Now, for my next trick!
Here we go.
Gotta start drawing Eviscerates for Malagos.
Are you ready for this?
No. Ow. Well, Illusionist. That would work out okay, but what am I going to actually do? I can boost him and play the Illusionist and stab that thing. That's not terrible. I'm not super happy with this. I'm starting to feel like I'm severely in danger, but...
Right on time!
This only works on the simple-minded. Here we go.
Stop the incoming damage somehow. Okay, I've got out an army now. An army that my opponent can flawlessly flame strike. Sentinel's pretty rough. It's going to be hard to kill the 4/7 before getting rid of the Sentinel. Can I start drawing Eviscerates sometime soon? Would be good. Okay, I'm not sure that armor plating's helping you, but sure. Okay, I think it's time I can start just playing stuff, mostly. No good targets for him, but that's okay. We'll hang on to him just in case. Guess I got his friend, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Or, this is a reversing switch.
So
I could
many
reverse that
options.
guy, and then blow him up with this. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
Let reading dragons lie.
He's targeted. I keep thinking he's random like a Kodo, but no, he's targeted. This can survive a flame strike. Does it really make that much difference? I don't think I need the violet as much, but I think the survivability might be more important. I will probably regret that, but if it was going to be important, I'm sure my opponent would find a way to kill her anyway. She is a 4/3. She did okay for me. She saved me a few hit points.
And I know a lot.
And then killed that guy so he wouldn't get his death
I
rattle.
learned.
That does need to die, though. Like, seriously. Where are my Eviscerates? Terribly inconvenient.
Time to die!
My opponent's kind of out of cards, so I am not super concerned about things right now.
Enjoy reading.
Here we go.
Boom. I have a lot of serious stuff. I've got 3 Eviscerates in these 16 cards. And a Fan of Knives. Malagos Fan of Knives would be pretty ass. Like, for something that happens to you in the arena, you're like, what?
I wonder.
Draw a card. I do think you've lost unless you do something incredibly ridiculously impressive. You currently have a 1/3 with no abilities, a 7 hit point advantage, which will be short-lived, and fewer cards than I have.
What to do? What to do?
Even if one of those cards is a Pyroblast, you're falling a little short.
Take your medicine.
Well, that'll keep you alive for a while. You heal that guy, makes sense. Control attack, not helping that much. I think we probably want to just get out Malagos at this stage. Although if I get out Malagos, I can't grow him. I can do a whole lot more if I don't do that. So, okay, never mind.
Thank you.
I'm not ready.
Here we go.
I don't really want to take the damage, honestly.
Here we go.
I'm actually going to take the risk to him instead. Oh, wait, I've got the Swarmer to kill that. Nice. I am going to take the risk to this guy instead, though. Normally, I don't do that, but I have, like, backup plans for doing stuff here. I don't like reducing him to 4 hit points against a mage in particular, but at any hit point total, she could just draw something that kills him. It just happens that Flame Strike would now obliterate my entire force. Yeah. Ow. But okay. Surrender time? You are in a degree of trouble, which may be deemed severe. Oh, his flame cannon missed. Now it's surrender time. Vanish. I don't see that as a productive line of attack. No, I think we're gonna... Well, this guy's not gonna make it anyway, so...
No.
I don't have lethal, right? 13, 14, 15, 19, 20. I have a lot, but definitely... Oh, 23. Wow, is it ever... Okay, hold on. Let's do the math more carefully. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Still not lethal, so... Yeah. He won't grow if I cast Malagos, but then I will have Malagos.
Careful. High tide.
Here we go.
So, I think that's a fair trade-off. Aye. Surrender time? If that's a Pyroblast, you're still 2 damage short.
What to do? What to do?
Pretty sure you're not gonna make it.
I've got a huge...
Oh, wow. That's like the opposite of Pyroblast. It's a piece of crap. Well, that was actually a sort of entertaining game, even though I got Malagos and I didn't get any of my damage-dealing spells other than the backstab that I had, like, in the starting hand-ish. So, as annoying as that was, it's hard to get too annoyed because it was totally crushing and it was going easy, and my dragon stuff will probably never work out again. But we'll just have to find out next time. Please click the legendary like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonac Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.